All right, pre-show shenanigans. Don't have much to say, but I want to say we are officially in the heat danger warning zone in Los Angeles. Okay, 2 nights ago, first time all summer where I'm trying to fall asleep. Usually it takes me a while to fall asleep because I'm scrolling through TikTok for hours before I
Yeah, the
fall asleep
ADHD
anyway.
is kicking in.
So naturally, it's going to take me longer because I've just been staring at screens for hours. But it was a different thing keeping me up a couple nights ago. It wasn't the TikTok. I would have known if it was the TikTok. It was something else. And then I, quickly realized, oh yeah, it's the fact that I cannot have any blanket on right now. It's burning hot in my room. Right now in Los Angeles, we're officially entered summer in terms of weather on a daily basis.
Yeah.
A month ago, it was like still like 65 out some days, like sub 70 a lot of days. Now it's consistent 80 plus every day, which is great. I'm not complaining about that during the day.
During the
day, I love it. It's at night where it's still 68, maybe 70, 71 at night. That's where we're in the danger zone, fellas. That's where we hit the danger zone. So let's just start off with this. Everett, what's the first thing you do when you enter a hotel room?
Make sure the AC is on.
Make sure the AC is on and or turn on the AC. So that's the first thing you do. Also, follow-up question, what is the ideal temperature to slumber at? There is
to
a
sleep
answer.
at.
To slumber at, yes.
It depends where you
slumber. The key word is slumber.
Slumber.
Like you are out like a light. Okay?
It depends where you are, because like New Orleans for us, because it's so fucking hot out. Like 71 in New Orleans is nice, but like if I was having my house set somewhere, it's probably at like 69.
69. That was the correct answer. So 69 is the ideal room temperature. If it gets up to 70, I think I can notice it because I spend my whole life between 60 and 80 degrees living in LA. So I feel like I'm a little more prone to those temperature changes, those small ones. But a 69 to 71, oh, you can feel that.
You're sweating bullets.
Like you can actually feel it. So I actually like want to buy a thermometer to put in my room to see how hot it gets in.
Yeah, you can do the daily tweet check where it's like, yeah, my room's at 75 degrees today.
Yeah, and like hopefully if like I in an ideal world, if I was doing that thermometer thing for a while, like when Herbert signed his contract, it would have been like really hot and like
it's just me or is it hot in here? You quote tweet the other tweet.
It's Justin Herbert signing. That's why it's so hot. It's not LA folks. It's Justin Herbert in LA. That's what's causing.
Or it's just the fact that he signed and I'm a Chargers fan.
Nah, that has nothing
to do with it. Nothing to do with
it. But yeah, it's a little too hot. A little too hot.
Yeah, I mean, for me in New Orleans, like there's been days where my house is at like 80 degrees. If you walk
outside, you already gain a layer of moisture just after one step. So from that angle, yeah, it's a little worse where you're at.
I mean, yeah, it's just hard to regulate.
Guests, though, I was asking him about, what it's like living just in humidity coming from LA, and our very own Chadwick was saying that yeah, he doesn't really like notice it anymore. Do you feel like you've adjusted to it by now?
I notice it when my house is really hot, but when I'm outside, like at least in the mornings and stuff, it's not like it's that
football
bad.
Practice. Like, can you?
But it's football because our football practices are in the morning. It's not that bad. But the issue is like I will step outside, like we will go on a walk to campus, go to the gym or something, and I'll step outside and be like, oh, this isn't that bad. And then I start walking. Once you're outside for like 3 minutes,
yeah, then you're like, no,
you're like, this is hell on earth. This is terrible. It feels fine for like the first 60 seconds, but after that, it is very noticeable.
Yeah. Let's just say the temperatures. This is like the only bad part about summer. This and the sunburn sitting in the left field pavilion at Dodger games. Like,
yeah, how long did it take for you to recover?
Maybe like 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
Yeah, you got put on the IL for that one.
Oh, straight up, I was on the IL.
I remember. Good luck. Yeah, for all of you, I don't know if we stated this in the recording from that.
Like they tossed me on the 15. They considered a 60-day IL for me. Grant got put.
Grant got put on the PUP list literally hours after we got back. We were trying to go do something to go watch the Lakers game,
hurt.
and Grant literally refused to leave the house. I had to force him to leave the house.
You should have seen it. Like it. Well,
it was bad.
It was
bad.
What was the deal?
You were like walking like all stiff legged, everything too. Like could not move
literally
anything.
Walking like there was a toilet plunger up my butt. It was just like it was just the most uncomfortable thing of all time. But yeah. That's the pre-show. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a very, very important episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today is episode 138. Kylian Mbappé turned down $750 million. Kike Hernandez is back. Noah Syndergaard is gone. Rudis the Buckeye may not have accidentally leaked Oregon joining the Big Ten. And Justin Herbert is now the highest paid player in NFL history for about 3 or 4 days until Joe Burrow overtakes that. But yeah, that is the rundown for today.
Not Everett, fully, but yes. Yeah, the important things to Grant.
We got to start off with the very important stuff here. Kylian Mbappé turning down $750 million. This is a message to Saudi Arabia. I am willing to take on the adversity, to put up with the online hate and bullies, to come over to Saudi Arabia for $750 million. If you guys need a striker, if you guys need a left winger, I'm young. I'm 21. There's a lot of potential. You could reach out to me here. So it's a long-term asset. I'll sign longer than 1 year too. We could stretch the 750 over a couple of years. I'm cool with that. I'm not demanding a 1 year 750. But let's just say, let's get these negotiations in under.
You've got
you can contact my agent, link in bio. You can contact him at unnamed intern at waterboypod.com. You can contact him below. But yeah,
I mean, look, you're getting the best striker in elementary school Los Angeles County history.
Whoa. You're really hyping me up there. Like backup right back. But yes. Yeah.
Still.
Hey, it's natural for fullbacks to go into wingers. Gareth Bale did it. Saka did it. It's very common to do. Famously on Ted Lasso, Sam Obisanya did it. So it's very popular to go from fullback to winger, so I can make that transition. I can make that move. But yeah.
Hey, I mean, just drop your goal numbers. That's all we need. How many goals have you scored in your career?
1.
And guess what? That was the most important goal
outside
ever
the box,
in your team history.
Outside the box goal.
That's the player that you guys are getting, Saudi Arabia. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, no.
Irreplaceable.
Big time players make big time plays. I'm a big time player. I don't make big time plays, but I will make them for you. So that's all that matters. But yeah, seriously though, $750 million for 1 year. Then he can go to Real Madrid. Instead, he's going to sit on the bench for PSG this year. PSG, they already said, essentially, screw you, Mbappe. If you're not going to stay with us long term, we're going to bench you if you stay. But Mbappe said, I'll take my salary. He's still getting paid a lot of money, Everett. He's getting paid a lot of money still. So, yeah, he's going to take a year off, kind of like Le'Veon Bell. Yeah, Le'Veon Bell. That's what he's doing. But he's getting paid for the year off. And a lot more than Le'Veon did.
He's staying on the same team, I guess, too, technically. But
yeah, I mean, his goal is to go to Real Madrid. I don't think Real Madrid has the money for it because other guys.
It's not $700 million. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, but like Benzema, like he signed a free agent. They didn't get any money for him leaving, so financial fair play. Gotta profit more than you lose. So yeah, there's that. Okay, on to the fun stuff. MLB. Our prodigal son, our hero, our golden boy, one of my favorite players in Dodger history, Kike Hernandez is back. Overall stats aren't looking great, not gonna lie, but Everett, this is what we got to focus in on here. Kike was brought in to be a platoon player against lefties. Okay, if you look at his splits, righties versus lefties, his numbers against lefties, it's not like they're amazing, but much better than righties. But overall, he's been starting for the Red Sox. There's more righty pitchers than lefty pitchers, so he's been facing more righties, and his numbers have been going down. I'm not saying this is a massive pickup, like lineup-wise. I'm not saying this just unlocks the lineup, but people are acting like he's going to be our everyday shortstop or left field. No, he only plays against lefties. And he did that today and got 2 hits. So yeah. But that was the first thing. I just love Kike. He's great. Absolutely love him. And he's going to provide some fire off the bench, which I think the team needs. I think the team needs a little more juice in the clubhouse.
Also, I don't know if you saw this, but after Kike got traded, Justin Turner tweeted out just sad face, like
I did like Kike. Kind of one thing I like about baseball trades is that you're getting traded like while you're fucking mid game or like warming up in BP. So
there's been people traded to the other team that they're playing against. No, that they're playing against.
Yeah.
5 minutes before the game starts, and you have to walk over. Like last year.
That happened in the NBA too.
Last year, it was the Astros like catcher. Someone got traded like 5 minutes before the game started and had to go to the other dugout for the game.
It's very awkward because it's like here's just an oversized sweatshirt because we didn't plan on this. So here, just put this on. I guess you can keep the same pants on. Fuck. Hopefully they hide the orange piping for the Astros. But yeah, we're fine. You're good.
Yeah, can you tell us what the game plan for today was though? By the way,
like if I'm being dead ass, that's the number one way you'd gain respect. Is that let's say that were you and you were a catcher. Really important for the pitcher-catcher game plan. Even if you weren't the starter, you're still at minimum helping the catcher out or the pitcher out a little bit. Like you're still involved in that conversation. Shit, you might have to go in, you know? Austin Barnes, I guarantee, is still with Will Smith and the starter in case Austin has to come in. Like I guarantee it. So just like with that, I mean, there's no better way to gain respect than you get traded 5 minutes before the game. That game plan in your little wrist saver, you keep that on. You walk over, you take it off, and you say, "Here, Skip. Nice to meet you. Name's Grant. I'm your new catcher. Here you go." That's how you gain respect. That's how you gain respect in the clubhouse. That's how you do it. So, you should immediately. Like that's another thing. Like in the NFL, I swear, Belichick for a while would sign guys. Like,
he still does it.
Jets practice squad.
No. He still does it. Like last year.
Does it all the time.
Other teams still do it. Last year, the Bengals, or maybe it was 2 years ago.
It happened to Chad Knoff.
Yeah, it did.
It happened to Chad Knoff.
But I think maybe it was 2 years ago or whatever. The Vikings played the Bengals, and the Bengals signed a Vikings quarterback off the practice squad the week before the game.
It's always practice squad quarterbacks, practice squad like centers. You take the key guys who know the off quarterbacks. Really take that. Boom.
If I'm a quarterback and I'm on the practice squad, you know what? Like it might suck because you're like, shit, I gotta fly out for this week.
There is no rules in the NFL saying there's no clause saying you can't disclose prior team. You can leak. There's
no. But what I am saying is like if you are signed off the practice squad to a team that your former team is playing against this next week, you know that it's
scummy.
You know that it's not for your talent. They just want your plays. So then you're just kind of like, all right, so what do I do? Like, do I just stay in a hotel for a week? I
gotta go ball out. And if this is my shot to impress them. That first day is the day.
But it's just like, what? Because it's the unknown of like, for the most part, if you get signed, you're like, all right, I gotta get like a house and stuff. But in this situation, you're like, shit, I might be cut in 2 days. Like, I don't know if they really care.
No, it's like a brutal reality for practice squad guys. But yeah, so back to baseball. We also traded for Ahmed Rosario. So another righty hitter. So real quick little preface. In terms of non-pitching targets, we were targeting 2 right-handed hitters to platoon in for David Peralta and Jason Hayward against lefties. So
I saw that Rosario was a shortstop. I don't know. I know nothing about him. So I can't really say what his skill set is. But obviously, my thought when I saw that was like, okay, we're trying to get a shortstop. We're trying to get depth at shortstop. Clearly, that's not really the way that it actually is.
So the way I'm thinking, like, Miguel Rojas is so bad. Like, he's a righty hitter, but like, it's not like he's good against lefties. He's bad against everyone. So we need to help that shortstop hitting wise. Now, Ahmed Rosario is not the greatest fielder, I'm going to be honest. And despite the hitting, Miguel Rojas might be the greatest Dodger shortstop of the past 5 years. So like just fielding, he might be the greatest Dodger fielding shortstop. Like maybe of the Doc Rivers or Dave Roberts era.
Doc Rivers era. Yeah.
Shit. I get people call him Doc. I get that shit confused. But Amed Rosario is not the greatest fielder. Once again, we got him for the lefty hitting, better numbers against lefties and righties. This is what I can see happening though. So right now in a lineup, a fully or not fully healthy, right now against righties, our lineup would look something like Mookie, Freddie, Will Smith, Muncy, JD, Outman, like
would
Hayward,
yeah.
Peralta, and then Miguel Rojas last. Like ton of lefties in there. Against lefty pitchers, though, we're gonna take out Hayward, take out Peralta. Okay. Have Mookie.
You want to take right. out? I don't know what Hayward's stats are.
Awful against lefties. He great against righties. Hayward and Peralta both great against righties. Like both of them have over 800 OPSs this year or like near it, and their OPS against lefties are like sub 600. So their righty OPSs are like 900 plus each. Like they're killers against righties, but they're only there for that. So when the lefties are in, we take them out, pinch hit them back in when they bring in the righty reliever. But to start the game, they're out. And then Kike will start in outfield. Rosario will come into infield, playing shortstop.
Where are we putting? Are we putting Kike in left? Where are we putting him? Left.
Outman center, Mookie in right.
Well, on a good day, but Mookie, I mean, goes literally wherever. So
no, yeah, like he's been going all over the place. But like in this lineup, because lefty Chris Taylor is playing second or left. Kike will play second. Chris Taylor will play left. Rosario plays short. The whole key was to just improve the lineup against lefties. That was the whole point of getting Kike and Rosario. But like also the thing is just depth-wise, bench-wise against righties. Against righties.
Okay, let's more so get into this part of these trades and trade deadline.
Yeah, just real quick though, Everett. Without Kike and Rosario, we are asking Yanni Hernandez and Johnny DeLuca to come off the bench and get hits.
You telling me you don't love Johnny DeLuca coming off the bench?
I love Johnny DeLuca's fielding. I mean, what a babe out there. Holy shit. But it's just like, I've seen Kike hit playoff bombs. I've seen it.
You have the certified.
So that's the thing. Just
let's
playoff ABs here.
Let's get into this part though, because this is going to be the more interesting bit.
By Noah Syndergaard, but go on.
Yeah, it's not what has happened. It's now what can and will happen is the more interesting thing. So obviously, there's now been news coming out. Shohei Ohtani's off the block. Dodgers are nobody is basically going to be able to trade for him anymore. They're trying to get the postseason. Assuming it's not like we knew it was going to happen anyways. But
I'm sorry. Did you just pick up dynasty players while I was mid trade talks on the Dodgers? Was it that boring?
I was listening. I just had to make sure I got my guy. You know, when you see your guy, you got to get your guy. That's an interesting move. I could see that. I could see you weren't giving a shit about what I was. I could see. No,
that.
I heard everything that you're saying. You didn't even notice that I wasn't. I was picking up players until afterwards.
I was looking. You were looking down. Yeah.
I was looking this way. I was looking towards my computer, but I got earbuds and I can still hear you.
I mean, I'm aware, but I could tell you weren't the biggest fan of that. You want to quickly change subjects right away? Yeah, shit.
I mean, I'm not. It's not that I'm not the biggest fan.
PK. He sucks.
I'm not saying that at all.
Amed Rosario sucks ass. I want Noah back. You're right.
Your words, not mine.
I'm shit. I thought we were down for a little Dodger trade talk.
No, we are. That's where I'm going with this. I'm going with that right now.
Okay.
I was about to say before you cut me off when I was saying Shohei Ohtani's no longer on the block. Who big name players do we want the Dodgers to trade for in the next week and a half, 2 weeks for the trade deadline, expecting them to be pitchers? Because that's the last big group that we need to get is the pitching help.
What I'm hearing is that we are targeting like 4 starters. And by target, I mean like we want to trade for 4 starters in this cycle, literally. So the first name I'm hearing that's been really ramping up today is Lance Lynn.
I saw that. He's also been attached to the Rays as well.
Let's hear this first. Got a 6.9 ERA this year. He's given up 79 earned runs in 115 innings pitched. Noah Syndergaard's better. It's crazy. It's crazy to think of Everett, but Lance Lynn is a worse Noah Syndergaard. So that's not a trade that we want, but I'm hearing it's ramping up hard.
Okay.
Kind of expect the next time we come on this pod next week, Lance Lynn to be a Dodger. I'm kind of expecting that at this point.
I don't love that. I'm not a big.
Oh, you shouldn't. You should be terrified. But these are the names I'm actually interested in. So, bunch of Dodger fanboys, bunch of LA boys. Jack Flaherty from the Cardinals, right-handed pitcher, and Lucas Giolito, right-handed pitcher from the White Sox.
Now I can go for some Giolito.
We're going after.
I can go for some Giolito. Don't get me wrong there.
So those are the 2 other names that we've been in talks with. Lance Lynn is like also on the White Sox, so maybe we take Giolito and Lance Lynn. But by taking Lance Lynn, they have to throw in another prospect too. Because
I mean, even though Lance Lynn's stats are horrific this year, he still is technically the White Sox ace, right?
No, it's Dylan Cease.
Oh, that's right.
He's nasty too.
He is nasty,
but he's
so.
I think he's still on a renewable.
Do you have faith? Do you have faith in the relieving group of the bullpen now?
Yeah, I mean, if
then the starting
when the
rotation?
Starters go 6+, they've actually been really good. They've actually.
So you think the focus should be on the starting rotation, not the reliever?
We need starters. The starters are awful. Emmett Sheehan. Oh God, that's.
I think
Tony Gonsolin. That's a loss.
Sheehan should stay up, but he should become a reliever.
If I'm just gonna be honest, after seeing the boys give him 4 runs in the first inning.
To be fair, wasn't Austin Barnes his catcher?
Yeah, but still, 4-run lead first. I mean, you cannot get a more ideal starting situation than that. So yeah, no, like the stars are bad.
Okay. Let's say this trade deadline goes exactly the way. Let's say this trade deadline goes exactly the way you want it to. Who are your starting? Let's say starting 4 rotation.
Starting 4, it would be Kershaw, still Julio 2, Flaherty and Giolito. That'd be
no Bobby.
No. He's the reliever. That's the guy who gets 3 innings.
You're saying for the playoffs? Yeah.
He's the Dustin May, the 2020 Julio Urias. Yeah.
No Tony.
God, no. Fuck no.
Not even for reliever for 3 innings?
He's so bad. And he's also doesn't have the greatest postseason track record. So, I mean, Tony, I'm out on. So,
okay.
Like, this is the thing about Tony. The one thing he was great at last year is with runners on base, he'd lock that shit down. He wouldn't give up runs. So Tony, not a lot of strikeouts. He keeps the walks low, but he gives up hits. Somehow, some way, when the pressure's on runners in scoring position, he'd stop giving up those hits. And when you can't get hits runners in scoring position, you don't score. So he was a Cy Young candidate last year, one of the best ERAs in the league. The only issue is this year, Everett, they're getting hits with runners in scoring position. That's the problem.
So he signed an extension, right? He's on
ARP.
Oh, he's on op. Okay.
He signed like a $3 million extension. Sure.
Okay. I didn't know if it was an op or not. I thought it was like a 2-year deal or something.
Yeah, but like the whole point is we signed him to a 2-year ARB instead of a 1-year and renewing it again, assuming he was going to pitch really good again this season. So we didn't have to pay him 10 or 15 million in his last year of ARB. Only issue is now he sucks ass and he's worth less than what his ARB contract currently is. So yeah.
I also fully forgot Michael Grove was a starting pitcher.
Yeah, that's another guy that we are not totally on board with. Yeah, not a fan of him getting postseason minutes either. So yeah, no, that'd be the ideal starting rotation there. Starting 4. So
okay.
But
Is there any name underneath the
There
radar?
aren't any crazy big name guys available.
True.
Like, so,
Is there any guy that's kind of underneath the radar that you would like to see the Dodgers get?
uh, underneath the radar guy. Well, when I say
Like most people would be like,
not underneath the
it's not that
radar,
big of a
like
deal,
player
but
wise, but no one the Dodgers really mentioned. Ryan Helsley on the Cardinals. Oh my god. If we're talking relievers, that's like one of the only dominant relievers available on the market. I'm not sure if he'll end up getting traded because like you're gonna have to give up. You're gonna have to give up for him. Like he throws 101. He throws heat. His nickname is Hell's Bells. Like yeah, we want him, Everett. We want him, and he's 27, so we want him. I think he's got another year on ARB, so we'd have him for next year. So like Helsley's a guy really like if you're talking a big name reliever, Everett, that's your guy, Ryan Helsley. So
I just
I
also my other
after
thing
him.
that it's the way of life as a Dodgers fan. It's just the up and downs. We talk about this all the time, the roller coaster where you're going like, all right, this team sucks, this team's fantastic. Right now we're
To
on
be
the
honest,
up, but
that like it is really just like baseball. But oh, circle back on Ryan Helsley. He's on the 60-day IL. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, so I'm not sure if we got a big name reliever. Okay, I'll give you a starter now. That's fun. Starter I like to go over. That's fun. Blake Snell. It would never happen. We'd never get him. The Padres would never ever trade him or Hader to us in division. It would not happen.
do you think the Dodgers go after
But
Joe Kelly, get him back?
That's another name where I heard floating around that like I mean,
I'd be fine with that.
much. We don't need to give up much. So like, shit, yeah, let's do it.
They could take Michael Grove.
Well, I know our opinions on Michael Grove, but
no,
like,
you probably should say
the Oakland A's would do a lot
for Michael Grove.
They do a lot, Everett. So like, you know.
Well, so I was talking to you the other day too. This is also a long Dodgers thing. We'll move on in a second, but I was talking to you the other day. I was like, I'm trying to remember the dude that we had last year who we traded at the deadline, who was a starting pitcher. He pitched like one game, who would be a great reliever right now. I didn't know his name until last night, 2 nights ago, whatever it was. I guess 2 nights ago when you're watching this. It was Mitch White, who is now on the Blue Jays, and I immediately took back the statement I made after I watched James Outman hit a walk-off on him. I was like, all right, no, maybe not. No, we're good. We're good.
Mitch White, he was a former
but that was the guy
10 prospect for us. Yeah.
That was the guy I was thinking about. I'm like, I was like the other day, I was like, damn, I really wish we had him right now, because the last I remembered him, he was actually pitching pretty well. Then lo and behold, literally a day later, I'm watching the Dodgers walk off on him after he's in for 3 pitches.
No Mitch, Everett. No Mitch.
I think we're good.
No Mitch.
We're good.
Trust me. We're okay.
We're okay.
No, yeah. Yeah. You know, there's things. I mean, we haven't done any of the pitcher moves yet. Remember?
No.
That's 5 days.
That's what they're really trying to wait until the actual deadline to do.
No, I mean, realistically, like, see it from this perspective. Like, let's say they are planning on going after Flaherty and Giolito and Lance Lynn too. Fuck it. I wouldn't do those trades until I get Kike and Rosario first. You know, I want to get those first. Make sure we got that in motion because, you know, the lineup still needs that. We get that in place. It's because they're inexpensive to get. Like, we didn't give up jack shit to get Kike and Eddie Rosario.
I don't honestly even know what we gave up. I don't think it was stated.
Well, the Red Sox are paying 75% of Kike's contract. So they sent us over. He's getting
things are that bad, are they?
Million. They sent us over $2.5 million. Yeah, but they're using him as their everyday shortstop. We're using him to only hit against lefties and play second, and we're not having him bat like 5. Like, he's batting like 8 or 7 for us. Like,
yeah, he's basically literally taking over Miguel Rojas'.
Well, today
spot.
He batted 6, but yeah,
still Miguel Rojas' spot.
Yeah, but like, from that angle, it's all good. But yeah, okay, enough Dodgers.
College football.
All right, college football. I got my top 10 college football defenses. You want to start with that or do the conference realignment first? Because
start with defenses. Start with defense, because that'll be short and we'll get through it.
We'll do top 10 college football defense, going from 10 to 1. Looking ahead to next year. The way I was thinking about this from week one. Best defenses from week 1. Okay. These aren't, I don't think they're going to be top 10 end of the season, but from week 1. Okay. Wisconsin, Texas A&M, LSU, Iowa, Clemson, Florida State, Penn State, Michigan, Alabama, Georgia. First things first, in terms of let's start off with, because I got 4 Big Ten teams on here.
Yeah, you love putting your Big Ten teams in your list.
I want to start off with this. Penn State this year. This is the best team James Franklin has had at Penn State, top to bottom, offense and defense. He doesn't have a Saquon Barkley
or Micah Parsons.
No, well, they didn't play together.
No, I know. You were just listing off play. I was just listing off
but
players.
I'm just saying, like, the overall depth they have on this team right now is good. They actually have a quarterback now too, Drew Aller, 5-star.
He looked good when he played last year too, by the way. That first game versus Purdue.
Like,
he looked pretty good.
I've been hearing a lot about Drew Aller for a while now, so I'm excited to see what he can do. But Penn State's a team I'm gonna keep my eye on, and they have a really good defense too. Really good defense. Watch out for them. Very good secondary. Extremely good. They lost Joey Porter Jr., who is a first-round pick because of the Miami Dolphins. He was the 32nd pick in the draft. He was a first-round pick, okay? So Joey Porter Jr., they lost a first-round defensive back, and they're still, in my opinion, going to have the best secondary in the Big Ten next year. So Penn State, keep your eyes on them. Also, Wisconsin, they're returning 2 all Big Ten linebackers, and they add in Big Fick, who I know you guys beat Fickle last year, but he was
still,
he was already looking ahead to Wisconsin. Also, I'm kidding.
also no. What our standpoint is, we sent him to Wisconsin. He was not. Yeah, we sent him to Wisconsin.
My bad. I misspoke.
But Ivan Pace Jr., who is now on the Vikings as a UDFA, he transferred in, I think, from a JUCO this last season to Cincinnati and immediately became one of the best linebackers in the country. So if he can do that with Cincinnati, with a linebacker who transferred in for his final season, basically make him into an NFL prospect.
Yeah, and he had that guy Sauce Gardner, pretty good. So
yeah, don't forget about him. Or Kobe Bryant.
Yeah. Hopefully he gets a PT for Seattle.
Hopefully. He should. He should.
But yeah, so giving a lot of Big Ten love here. Some other schools I want to shout out. Florida State. They got one of the best DNs in the country, Jared Verse. You'll be talking about him a lot in about 7 months from now, when we're in pre-draft mode. Jared Verse, remember the name, Everett. That's gonna be like who's the second edge off the board last year? I'm forgetting. Tyree Wilson. He's the Tyree Wilson equivalent, where he'll start floating up near the end. He'll be top 10. Jared Verse. He won't be top 3. I think we know what that's gonna be, but he'll be top 10. So his name will be floating around. Like him a lot. They also picked up big time corner transfer from holy shit. I'm forgetting where he came from. Syracuse. Everyone dipped Syracuse last year. Ohio State took one of their DBs too. But big time players on Florida State, they reload. Fentrell Cypress. You're going to remember that name. It's pretty easy to remember too. It's pretty unique. So you're going to remember Florida State. Florida State Clemson, when we get into our annual ACC preview, I'm still picking between Florida State and Clemson to win that. It's still up for debate. I think Florida State on paper has the better offense and defense. But I'm gonna shout out Clemson. They had the offseason pickup, literally the best coaching pickup of the offseason in Graham Riley for their new OC. So Clemson reloaded. That's
all I want to say is you missed the best defense in the country.
USC's front 7. Yes, thank you. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, those they'll be coming out in the bottom 10 college football defenses next week. So
yeah, I got in an argument with the dude the other week about Drake May versus Caleb Williams, and he brought up, he was like, yeah, well, UNC had a worse defense than USC. I'm like, dude, I don't know physically how. So I went through the rankings and I was an idiot and I missed them. and I said that USC didn't even have a top 130 ranked defense, and I thought I won the argument. Turns out USC was ranked 106 and UNC is 116. How much a difference those 10 spots makes is really insignificant.
No. Yeah, and like, I mean, to be completely honest, it's like the difference between like, yeah, when it gets that far down, it's
like, dude, it makes no difference.
And it's probably ranked off of yards per game. The difference might have been like,
it was total defense,
8 yards per game.
Total defense. So yards per yards allowed per carry.
There's multiple teams that like 320.
It basically is like a give or take. It's a give and take, being like, all right, so USC let up 5 less yards than UNC, but 5 more yards passing. So we're gonna weigh them differently. But still, I mean, Caleb Williams, like I said, if somebody drafts Drake May over Caleb Williams, then somebody's getting fired. And that's no shot against Drake May, but Caleb Williams should be the first quarterback.
Is going to be the first pick. I do want to say, though, like, in terms of recent track record has shown that, second quarterback taken off the board struggles a little more than first. But I do think Drake May, like, might be, I guarantee he's not going to go number 2 overall just because he's preseason hyped up, and it never. Maybe another quarterback comes up and takes it. Like, I don't know.
Bo picks Nix.
No, not that one. Literally a guy that you aren't even thinking of right now.
Oh, I know who it would be. You know who it would be, and I know who it would be. You know who it would be.
I mean, You
do know who it would be.
Nope.
Reigning lefty Dick Strong quarterback of the year winner.
No. I'm saying like completely random. Like this dude's a redshirt sophomore, bursts on, starts randomly for like a Will Levis, like a Malik Willis.
I'm trying to think who would be
just
a no-name guy.
Trey Lance to a degree. Like, just who the hell is this guy? Carson Wentz, was he being hyped up a year before the draft? I don't think so. Like shit. He went
to UND, so I don't think so either.
No, definitely not. Like,
that's what I will never understand. I know this is kind of a little bit off, but I will never understand how somebody from a non-Power 5, like not Power 5, but non-D1 program, basically, because I'm not going to consider like their FBS. So
yeah,
I don't understand how you go from that to be like, they should be the number 2 overall pick or whatever. Like, I get people having innate talent, but they're not playing playing players that are remotely on the same scale of D1 programs or the NFL. So, I mean, it's worked out.
We saw how we saw it didn't work out, but yeah.
Carson Wentz almost worked out. Almost.
He
almost.
Actively rooted against his team to lose the Super Bowl when he got hurt because he was butthurt and jealous that they were going to win it without him, and realized that they're better without him. Oh, sorry, that was a lot. But yeah, top 10 college football defenses. Okay, conference realignment. So first things first, this is official news. Colorado will be leaving the Pac-12 and joining the Big 12. Shout out Coach Prime getting it done. Colorado's in Big 12 country now. No need for Texas or Oklahoma. You got the Buffs.
You got the Buffs. Houston. You got the Buffs, the Cougars, and the Bearcats.
Yes. Yeah. So
whatever the BYU is. I don't know what BYU is.
Now, not gonna lie. Like, whenever I think about Big 12, the only thing I can think about is college basketball. And Colorado's got a pretty solid college basketball team.
Do they?
Like, pretty solid. They're up and down. It's shaky. But when they're good, like, they've been a 5 seed multiple times in the past decade. Like, they get up there. They lose, like, early, but they're there.
I just find it interesting, by the way, like,
but Big 12 basketball,
we have to keep in mind, like, I understand it's not just football. That's why teams schools transfer.
I'm like half joking bringing up the basketball.
No, I know, but like that's also kind of something that we have to keep in mind, because if you just think about it, like, I know they have Deion Sanders, they're trying to revamp the whole program, they're doing all this, but like and I know that's a whole money thing, but by a team quality standpoint, they had 1 win last year. Like,
awful.
It makes
truly awful.
If the head coach's name was not Deion Sanders, even if they got like,
it's the transfer portal acquisitions, which only came because of Deion Sanders. Correct.
If the head coach was Trent Dilfer, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to the Big 12. It's not happening. So it's just, It's the Deion Sanders effect.
Well, to a degree, yes. Another thing though, just like geographically, like Colorado, like is
kind of there
for Big 12 country
compared
to what it could be.
Yeah, I mean, it could be Washington.
Yeah.
Or Oregon.
So funny. That'd be so funny. Speaking of Oregon, Brutus the Buckeye on his Instagram, the Ohio State mascot, may or may not have leaked Oregon joining the Big Ten. So he posted a picture of him with the Oregon Duck mascot, captioned "Big things coming." Now,
definitely intentional. Definitely intentional.
Most likely.
No, it definitely was.
Yeah, Oregon's going to join the Big Ten. Colorado's going to the Big 12. Everett. Let's give a proper send off. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, it's confirmed. Rest in peace to the Pac-12. The Pac-12 is officially done as we know it. Actually, shit, they might go back to the Pac-10. They just lost 4 teams. So
don't worry, they'll try to recruit from the AAC, but arguably the AAC is better right now than the Pac-12. So
the Pac-12, it all started with just some awful media deals, made USC and UCLA jump ship. Now Oregon and Colorado's too big for you guys. That's how low the Pac-12 is. Colorado's too big for you guys. So yeah,
I honestly, I am kind of surprised that Oregon has not officially left or officially have heard anything.
Well, because it's hard to get into the Big Ten because of how much money that.
No, I know, but also if we're just thinking about the programs, Oregon is Oregon is one of the most luxurious program names.
I actually thought Oregon could be a fit for the SEC.
But that's what I know. But what I'm saying is like, I'm surprised that we've heard Colorado's leaving before we've heard that Oregon's leaving or Oregon's even gotten an offer to leave.
Yeah.
That's interesting to me.
Yeah. I mean, another thing, like Big Ten keeps that shit under wraps. No one heard a pipsqueak about USC and UCLA going until it got officially announced. So I would also say the Big Ten just does keep that shit under wraps. Like Big 12, I mean, SEC, that like the Texas Oklahoma shit got leaked so early. Like that got
I know that, but still, like even if it's the Big 12 in Colorado,
I bet Oregon started their talks way earlier than Colorado did in terms of leaving the Pac-12.
Or the Pac-12 or Oregon was gonna go to the Big 12 and Oregon asked for too much and they were like, we're gonna take Colorado. And they backed down.
That doesn't make sense because Oregon's getting, I don't know, double the money by joining the Big Ten. So
no, I'm saying maybe the deal was with the Big 12, not the Big 10, and it was Oregon and the Big 12.
Well,
and then Oregon backed out
I was hearing Ohio State wasn't really entertaining Oregon, and Ohio State is the Big Ten. The Big Ten was just thinking they were we're too big for
too good for Oregon.
Eugene, Oregon. So like the names that I were hearing actually was Washington and Stanford because Big Ten academics, we gotta make sure our academics are strong. It's like, look at what's going on at Northwestern. Look what happens at the academic schools. Okay. No,
we beat USC Oregon in the Cotton Bowl.
Oh, you're talking about Tulane. Yeah. Get us off that Northwestern subject. Thank you. But yeah, from that perspective, moving parts, but the Pac-12 is done. That thing is officially done.
It's dead. You know the meme. It's the dude from I think his name's Grant Gustin, and there's the gravestone. And he's got the he's going like piece in front of the
Flash.
The Flash. He's got the piece in front of the gravestone.
Yeah,
it's a meme, right?
Yeah.
It's him, and it's Colorado and the Pac-12.
Oh, I know. That's a well-known meme. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what this is.
I mean, to be honest, I think I've seen a meme of like RIP Pac-12 when USC and UCLA did.
No, yeah, they did that, but now it's even like it's like double down now.
Yeah,
it's double down now.
But conference realignment, it's happening. It's real. Only one more year left of normal college football as we consider.
So what do you think happens? Because obviously with the whole realignment, then we have we'll have the 12 team format playoffs and all that. Do you think there'll be more is the AAC going to end up coming into somewhere else? The Pac-12 completely dissolve? Like what do you think happens?
So Well, it's not like the Pac-12 is going to completely dissolve. Well, they're going to become a glorified Mountain West.
True, but also
the media companies will not be offering them crazy media deals.
That is true, but let's also look at it this way. A lot of teams,
big fan base though.
True, but a lot of teams that are going into these Power 5 conferences get poached from the AAC. All right. And if I'm a team in the AAC, the American, and I'm looking at this is the realignment. We have 12-team playoff formats coming up with the realignment. I don't want to go to the Pac-12 because I have a better chance of going to the playoffs if I'm in the American.
But hey, money talks at the end of the day.
Money does talk, but
wherever has the biggest media deal, you go there. Like that's what the ADs are looking at. That's what they want to do. Like
it's definitely a big factor. I don't think it's the whole thing though. It's a big factor, but it's not the whole thing.
Yeah,
at least not with the Pac-12.
Nothing is ever the whole thing.
At least not with the Pac-12. At least not with the Pac-12.
But like, let's just say for like those ADs and those boosters, yeah, let's go to the conference with the bigger media deal because we'll have more money for our football program. But anyway, yeah, conference realignment, the way it's looking, I do think what's going to end up happening, the Pac-12, their media rights deal is up for renewal, I think in 2024. I think that's why the teams are jumping ship 2024. So when that is up, now they're getting bidders. Now they're getting bidders coming out. They've been doing it on like Pac-12 Network, like maybe some shitty games on ESPN at like 9 p.m. So fucking late. But like Pac-12, they screwed themselves over when they made the Pac-12 Network however many years ago. Like I can't even watch multiple like Pac-12 basketball games. Now I know who cares about Pac-12 basketball? I do, damn it. But like football, if it's on Pac-12 Network, like I can't watch USC. Like away game, there were a couple away games for USC on Pac-12 Network that I had to like really, really dig deep to find a bootleg stream.
They are very like hard. Like it is nearly impossible
to get a
Pac-12 Network. It's like Nintendo is notoriously like hard on like people producing Nintendo like content like with Mario or Pokemon or whatever. It's like that for college football.
Yeah, it's just like a little ridiculous going on right now. But in terms of that's kind of like my big thoughts on conference realignment. Pac-12, they're just not going to get the biggest deal, and like literally, it's those schools in the Pac-12, like their yearly revenue is going to decrease, like it's just going to happen, or won't increase the same amount as it is with the other teams. Like I mean, Big Ten, those teams are getting like 55, 60 billion a year just from being there. That's guaranteed. You get that every year, no matter what. And it's like, from money perspective, like let's say you are Tulane right now. Let's say you do make it to the college football playoff. You win the college football playoff. Just talking money wise, I know long term that's better off winning the national championship recruiting wise, save the program. But just from that 1 year perspective, you would have ended up making more money just playing in the Pac-12 than the money you get.
True, but also
and the bowl.
Also think about it this way though: if you win that,
long term, trust me.
Yeah, but also you're more likely to get a bid from a better conference if you wait than if you were to get the Pac-12. But anyways,
yeah, that's on conference realignment. We can move on.
NFL.
To the NFL. Yeah, so mine's just real short and sweet. So my boy, highest paid player in NFL history on a yearly basis as of July 25th. So first things first, I got a fun fact of the day. Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the NFL, I'll admit it, I'm man enough to admit it, is now the 8th highest paid quarterback or player, because top 8 are all quarterbacks, but he's now the 8th highest paid player in the NFL on a yearly basis, the best player in the NFL. Just that's how salary cap just inflates every single year and increases, where it's just next quarterback, just add an extra 1 million on the year, add another 1 million, add another 1 million, you're the highest paid, another 1 million. It'll just keep going up by 1 million, 1 million, 1 million. So you're now the highest paid, you're happy, yada, yada, yada. But the way the quarterback contracts are looking now, like Now Justin Herbert's a humble, nice guy, but Austin Eckler right now is. I hope his agent told him like, yeah, I think that's why you didn't get your contract, dude. They had to get that one done first. It's the same thing with Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook. If any Vikings fans were thinking Dalvin Cook should have been re-signed or something, it's like you got to.
Well, there were guys.
Big boys.
There were guys. Let's clarify that. There were guys.
You got to pay your big boy first. You got to pay your big boys first. So the big dogs got to eat, or else they're not going to play for you anymore.
Yeah, there was zero shot. There was zero shot that Justin Herbert was. It would be arguably it would have been worse for Herbert if he signed after Burrow, because you said this before we were recording, he probably wouldn't have gotten a bigger contract. So then if you get at least get to set the market.
Oh, and good luck coming back from the memes. Oh my, because they were playing chicken, waiting for each other.
Yeah, but also though, you at least let's say hypothetically
less money.
So he signed 262 and a half, right? He signed 262 and a half. Let's say hypothetically Joe Burrow's contract was 260.
262.6.
No, but let's say hypothetically Joe Burrow signed first and his contract was 262.5 or whatever, right? That's what they came out. Now you're getting paid less than what you would have had you set the market. Now the Bengals, if I'm the Bengals GM staff though, or like the financial management, I'm just like, God fucking damn it. Fuck.
I mean, they know they've been waiting for us. They know it's coming. They know it's been coming. Like they're going to have to pay that money.
Yeah, they're like, there's no shot. We're keeping T. Higgins now.
I mean,
like,
the one thing I do like and appreciate about the NFL is because it's guaranteed TV revenue, the teams will fill up that whole salary cap. Like
they will.
No reason
100%.
Like, they're gonna fill that whole shit up. So from that perspective, at least compared to like the Oakland Ass, for example, like at least they're spending the money that.
Well, hey, so, it's not the Oakland Ass's fault that they're ass. Okay, it's the staff.
Yeah, it's fucking Jonah Hill's character. He's now all the fame's gone to his head. Now he's just crazy with his deals. He's like, more prospects.
Like, it's gotta be kind of get him for cheap.
Like, but that's all I had. Shout out Herbie.
Talking about quarterbacks, that we got a couple things on quarterbacks. First thing that I'm going to say, this is going to be Vikings related. So I finished watching quarterback. I got my Vikings jersey on today, brand new. It's our throwback ones. But after watching that, there are things that Kirk Cousins does, and I'm sure that there are a lot of veteran quarterbacks that have their own kind of things that people do. But there are things that Kirk Cousins does that make me want to have him on staff, have him on the roster still. When we get whoever our future quarterback is, whether he's on roster or we get him next year, I just want to make sure that like Kirk Cousins is there to be able to teach these players to do these things, to have like this mindset to prepare these certain ways, because I just like thinking about it, like there's no way that most quarterbacks come into the league with like these mindsets. So like the big couple of things that Kirk Cousins does is like he would come through and
Kirk Cousins might have the best mindset in all.
He has a phenomenal mindset, but like he has his own like chiropractic service that comes to his house to help him recover. He's like doing these things to treat
I saw that Daron Payne hit. I don't blame him.
Body right. He's going like he goes and reviews film, not only just at home and like going through the whole playbook and everything and like writing down the playbook and stuff, but he also goes and
Kyler Murray.
He also is in the film room by himself, breaking down like every little bit of film, not just from the team he's playing against, but the team like himself and what he's done and what he can work on. And I think having
notes, Kyler,
have that incorporated into whoever the next quarterback is. Like he'll for like to learn the playbook. Nick Mullins on, but like he'll record himself stating what the play is and play it in the car as he's driving from work or back home,
subconsciously gets
just to hear it. He has like these fucking like brain scan shit so that they can see how his brain's reacting to certain things.
Is that what it's called?
No, it's not a CAT scan. This is like electrode, like they're not MRI, but they're basically seeing like his wavelength, how his brain responds to stresses or
like
tunes on stuff.
when they're about to go into the dream state.
Yeah, basically. Okay. So I just think that if there's any like I know that he's going to cost money something, but for the future of the team, even if Caleb Williams if the Vikings get Caleb Williams, keep Kirk Cousins, keep him another year. I don't
like. I was gonna say like after seeing half of quarterback so far. Oh yeah, no, like I could definitely see Kirk just wanting to either still kick it as a backup or like go into coaching.
I think Kirk's also like very much he's like I football is like my thing. I like needed my family time. I want to be with my family, but like I want a Super Bowl before my career's over, and I can't think of a career like a life without football. I just can't. Yeah. And I think that he's also kind of settled on the point where it's like he just kind of wants to be in Minnesota as like long as physically possible. If he can retire there, like that's like what he Minnesota man. He seems like a Minnesota guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's from Michigan, like it makes sense.
And he's Midwest, yeah.
But I just personally think like I know he's going to take up a decent amount of cash, and obviously it's kind of towards the end of his career, so hopefully it'll be less than like what market is. But even if the Vikings draft Caleb Williams, Drake May, whatever, I want Kirk there for that whole season. I want Kirk to be starting. I want them to sit behind and learn.
If not Kirk, then Andy Dalton, but definitely Kirk.
If it's not Kirk, then
Kirk 1, Dalton 2. Steep drop off to Blaine Gabbert at 3.
Even steeper to Jameis Winston after that.
Oh, actually, I take everything what I said back. Jameis is 1. Jameis is the man you want to mold man into the next NFL.
No, that's the guy. My ideal situation right now is we get everybody re-signed coming next year. Kirk Cousins re-signs. He's there to develop whatever quarterback it is. But I still have faith in like Nick Mullins being there and be able to help out if Kirk doesn't resign. But I would really like to have Kirk be able to teach whoever this guy is to like, hey, this is what you should be doing. Because I think having that is a great career precedent.
Won a lot of hearts over for
a lot.
You know, everyone has their stigma of Kirk, like the Kirko chains. He just looks like a dad in his interviews. Like everyone has their impressions. Then you actually finally get to hear a little bit about him. God damn it, you're the best dude in the world.
Yeah. Other thing that I had, now this is not Vikings related, and you're gonna probably debate on this. So every year the NFL comes out with player rankings. They do whatever they do. But this year they came out with, they've had like the first 25, 30 come out. Trevor Lawrence and Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields are ranked 10 spots apart. And I know you know where they're ranked, but for the viewers out there, the listeners out there that
they've
don't know
gone
this,
up to 70, right?
Huh? I think so. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
But for the listeners and viewers who don't know this, Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields are separated by 10 spots in this. However, it's not in the order you'd think it would be.
Well,
Trevor Lawrence
because it is
ranked.
I think it would be.
Trevor Lawrence is ranked 96. Yeah, you as a dynasty Justin Fields owner. Trevor Lawrence is ranked 96.
Just traded Trevor Lawrence for Justin Fields
and a first round pick or in a second round pick.
Second, easy. That would have been trade rape, but yeah. Trape. Trevor Lawrence is ranked 96 and Justin Fields is ranked 86.
I don't know if you watched what I watched happen. I know you watched what I watched happen last year because it happened to you. I don't think there's anything indicative that Justin Fields is a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence. He can run, but he cannot throw. Maybe he'll throw this year, but he cannot throw.
It's all right. It's cool. You just looked at the stats and you were like, no. Velus Jones is a wide receiver 1. Like Gino, like anyone else, not Geno Smith. You hate him too. But Josh Allen would have the number 1 offense with the Chicago Bears. No.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all. I didn't say that at all. I didn't say that at all. What I did say is that based on the performances last year, Justin Fields had some good moments. But overall, outside of running, he was not a good player last year. And you yourself, outside of running the ball, he was not a good player last year.
Explain. Because he was, last in the league in all the stats? Look at his receivers. Who's he throwing it to?
Trevor Lawrence was, before the season, they were expected to have 4 wins.
Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, even Zay Flowers. to
Zay Flowers was not
Let me
on.
say it.
Was not on.
or not Zay Flowers,
Zay Jones.
Zay, other Zay. Goddamn. But don't compare them to. All right, let's get them out.
Darnell Mooney,
Mooney.
Velus Jones Jr.,
Claypool, Velus Jones Jr., Equinemius, St. Brown, ball player, N'Keal Harry, who could forget, former 2nd-round pick, Cole Kmet. That one's actually solid. Oh yeah, this is my favorite. This is my favorite stat too. NFL sack leaders, quarterbacks sacked the most last season. So Trevor Lawrence came in 15th, tied with Davis Mills, another name you're about to mention, getting sacked 31 times, a little under twice a game. Justin Fields was sacked 55 times last year. A little over 3 per game. So that's an extra sack.
Yeah, but also keep in mind too,
the offensive line significantly worse.
I'm not going to deny the fact that the Bears offensive line is boo-boo cheeks, because it is. But I will also say some of those sacks.
Fields a running quarterback, so it doesn't matter about his offensive line. He should run away from them, right?
No, that's not the point I was about to make.
Okay, good. I've seen that.
What I was going to say though is the offensive line is ass cheeks. It is garbage. But also, while a majority, I would say 75% of the sacks are on them, there's going to be still a bit of them that is Justin Fields moving around in the pocket and just coming up and just getting tackled by somebody who just pulls off.
Okay, sure, but
which is also on. It's the same thing that happened with Russell Wilson last year.
We're talking about that 24 sack difference.
The other, no, I know that, and I mean I've seen like the same thing happened with Deshaun Watson. I guess still.
Your guy Kirk was 6th in the league.
Yeah,
he got 46 times. You know,
trust me.
Well.
Our interior is not great.
I don't know how Herbert got sacked less than Kirk. Like that's mind-boggling to me.
We got absolutely annihilated versus the Cowboys. But what I'm gonna say is like, look.
So did us second half against Jacksonville, but those don't go into these stats.
150 yards per game, 17 touchdowns, 2,200 yards total. Like those are not indicative. But this is rating on how you play. Even if the team is worse, that doesn't mean that you're.
This is so first things first. The players voted on this. Let's start off with that.
No, I get that, but the reason why that's the case is because
on the game.
I get that. I get that
with nothing around him
because of his legs. But what I'm getting at is right now going into next season, would you rather have Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence going into next season?
Justin Fields. He is a better playmaker. He can make more plays. He can win you more with games when he has to. He can throw. You don't think he could throw?
He threw 11 picks last year.
Dude,
17 touchdowns.
Dude. Oh my God. Who is he throwing to? He doesn't have anyone to throw to.
I'm not denying that, but what I'm also still saying is if you stick, he just had, regardless of that.
I'm just saying his stats, that's not a reason to say
I'm not saying
that pass.
I'm not saying that it's just based on his stats. I also have gotten to watch him 2 times a year. I kind of know how he plays. He does not have the throwing mechanics right now that he should in the NFL. He does not make the right reads.
Free draft Justin Fields. Oh my God, this is hilarious.
I'm not saying that he's a bad.
Really hate the Bears.
I'm not saying that he's a bad player, and you know that when he was drafted the Bears over the Vikings, I wasn't happy because I wanted him.
The best quarterback I've ever seen play for Ohio State. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying that that's not the case.
Chicago Bears.
I am, and I get that. I get that.
Throw for 4,000 yards.
I get that it's also on the Bears, but I am
never
saying,
had a passer throw for 4,000 yards.
I am saying if you
looked
at what if you looked at what Trevor Lawrence did last year in comparison to what Justin Fields did, just based on surface value, I know that Justin Fields can run and that he's a playmaker, but just based on what Trevor Lawrence has done, what he did last year coming out of that first year, I just think that he was the better player last year. And I'm not shitting on Justin Fields because I'd still have him in the top 100. I'm not saying that he's ass. I'm just saying that based on what I saw last year, he's not as great of a passer as what people are saying he's a playmaker, but he's more known for his legs than he is as a quarterback.
I should have said that word. That was a bad word. That was a bad word to say. I shouldn't have used the term playmaker. I mean, that's all right. All right. Justin will prove everyone wrong. It's okay. It's okay. Now the team's actually like shit, maybe some O-line help could help.
I think that he can I think he can have a great year this year. I think he can have a fantastic year, and they redid the wide receiver core, but also even with the play calling last year, I know the players weren't as good, but Justin Fields did have some decent issues when it came to making the right reads and the right throws. He had his great moments, but he also had some really bad moments. So we'll see what happens this next year. I just think that Trevor Lawrence, I just think that Trevor Lawrence was the better player last year. Even though I know Justin Fields had 1,000 yards, like we're talking fantasy wise, yeah, I take Justin Fields over him. But
I didn't say anything about fantasy.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
On the game.
I'm just saying if it was just like impact on the game, right? Okay, we're talking about that. He's going to be able to make more plays with his leg.
Something that I just am bought into. Like, this is going back to me saying I would have rather have Bryce Young than CJ Stroud play for Ohio State. Bryce Young would have done more for the offense. It's just like the ability to extend plays that Justin gives you.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Forget the rush.
But also let's put it this way:
care about
the rankings.
I could not care less.
The rankings. Okay, I know you're thinking about, like, I'd like to have him do this. I like he has the abilities to do this. He rushed for 1,000 yards, whatever. Let's throw all the stats out the window for both players. Okay, I get the playmaking ability for Justin Fields, but just based on what they did to elevate their teams last year, Trevor Lawrence did more to win the games last year than Justin Fields did. Because even though Justin Fields made the plays, he still was not able to put them on his back and win the game.
Dude, with that team.
Like, I'm just saying. I know the team is ass. I'm in the division. I understand that. I make fun of them every single episode for being terrible.
I don't know these players. Like, can you just name some of their linemen for me? Like, I can't say I know any off the top of my head.
I know their last names and stuff. But their O-line, their tackles were hurt for half of last year too.
Oh, even worse.
They also traded for Alex Leatherwood. Let's not get into that bit.
You're not helping your case here.
I'm not saying. The point of the debate was not that.
Shit. The Bears are the worst franchise in the NFL. Okay. Lions,
whoa. The
Bears are so bad.
The Cardinals?
No, at least they made a Super Bowl. Right now.
What the fuck are you talking about?
The Cardinals lost to the Steelers in the Super Bowl.
Do you know how many Super Bowls the Bears?
Oh, when was the last time the Bears made? I mean, in my lifetime, I couldn't tell you last time.
Yeah, because it wasn't.
Yeah, I've seen the Cardinals do it. Bears have been awful forever.
The Bears have won a Super Bowl. Though. The Bears have won a Super Bowl.
85. Steel curtain. The Iron Curtain.
They've also won more NFC championships. Like, they have pedigree in history that's like very, very good. It just hasn't been recent.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, once you said the Leatherwood, that really put me over the top. But I'm going through the list right now. You know, this is just a waste of time. Whatever. Yeah. All right. I have my point made. I just want to remind everybody it was the NFL players who made this list.
It was. And I will say, like I said, regardless of the ranking, one, they shouldn't be 10 spots apart. Okay. Two, yeah, Justin Fields has playmaking ability, but based on what they did last year on the field in the situations that they were in, Trevor Lawrence just was a little bit better.
You could say that, but I mean, I would argue Justin Fields, like, having his team in the game at the end with Velus Jones and Equanimeous.
Like, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying that at all.
This is how I look at it. If Justin Fields had the Jaguars weapons, oh yeah, I would have liked that way.
He is an athlete.
That's all I got to think.
I don't we'll see this year because he's got DJ Moore and whatever now, but he is an athlete, and he'll develop into
we can also
good,
admit Doug Peterson above Eberflus and co.
Yeah, but that's not the debate here.
No, I know, but
yes,
T-Law's got better play calling, better coaching around him.
That doesn't mean that you can't say he's a better player because he's got better play calling and coaching.
That influence.
That's just good for his situation. That's good for his situation. That's like saying that you can't rate situations. That's like saying you can't rate somebody higher because like if fucking Mac Jones was, if Mac Jones was good, that's like saying we can't rate him as being a good quarterback.
But yeah,
it's like saying we can't rate him as being a good quarterback because he's got fucking Bill Belichick, or we can't rate Patrick Mahomes as being the number one quarterback in the country, in the nation, because he's got Andy Reid coaching him. It just doesn't make sense. No, but that's the argument you're making. You're saying that you can't rate Trevor Lawrence any higher because he is pedigree.
No, I'm saying just the difference between Justin Fields coaching receivers around him and Trevor. Okay, this is the last thing I'll say because we've been going on for too long. If Justin Fields was the quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars, they would have been better. That's all I got to say.
All right, breaking news.
I just had explosive diarrhea. Emergency.
That was not the breaking news that I was going to go with, but it's good for everybody to know.
I just want to be honest with the pod.
Yeah.
Just want to be honest with the Waterboy faith.
I mean, Grant does have the issue where halfway through every episode, he does have to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
Breaking news. Dalvin Cook is set to visit with the Jets on Sunday. And apparently they are $1 million apart on their negotiations for a contract, which means he is most likely signing with the Jets.
Okay. Now, I did some research looking at running backs coming off an ACL the year after, which is Breece Hall's situation right now. Not the prettiest numbers. We could look at Saquon in 2021 compared to last season. Dobbins is about to enter his second year, but we could look at his numbers last year compared
Dalvin to coming off of it.
Dalvin as well.
Then obviously
AP's the only exception.
The literal superhuman.
So we can't look at that. But I'm actually a really big fan of this because it's not a long-term move. It's probably going to be for 1 year. And they still have Breece. They're keeping Breece ready to go.
So who gets cut?
Breece Hall season.
Because they drafted whatever his name is, Michael Carter, and they have Knight.
I feel like I've been hearing about Michael Carter for years now. Yeah.
And they have 5 running backs though.
Yeah, too much. Or I think they have someone with a tie in their name.
Breece. Oh no, Ty Johnson. I think he's gone.
Oh.
But they have Breece Hall, Michael Carter, Zonovan Knight, whatever the dude they drafted his name is, and they would have Dalvin. So that's 5. And I only would expect them to carry 3. So
yeah,
Breece Hall, Dalvin, who's the third one that stays? It has to be the dude they just drafted. So I guess Zonovan Knight and Michael Carter. See ya.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think that would make sense if Dalvin goes there. It's just like, well, another thing, Breece, I'm not sure if he is going to be available for week 1. Did they say that? Or is
it's not looking good. They never say it. They never said yes or no, but it's not. And whenever you on a pup list to start camp, it's not great.
Yeah, the one thing though that I don't get though is like Claypool got placed on it and then got taken off.
I don't think that he was. Was it? That wasn't this year, was it?
Yeah, it was like.
Oh, it was. I mean, it's a little bit different. He's not coming off an ACL.
Yeah, and it's also like Claypool.
It's a little bit different. It's Claypool. He probably was just upset that one of his TikToks didn't do as well. He needed an emotional day off.
Yeah, it was an emotional pop.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we'll see. That could be an interesting move for Dalvin. I would say, yeah, I like that. Miami and Buffalo's always been floated around a lot, but
Dalvin
did that a lot.
Dalvin didn't throw out the idea of going to Buffalo. He was like, I mean, it would be fun to be able to play with James, but
was that pretty much all he said?
Yeah. So I mean, now if the Bills had Dalvin, obviously that'd be disgusting. Sucked for me as a James Cook owner in Dynasty, but I think that him on the Jets, like that only solidifies the Jets being a powerhouse even more.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jets, they're in buy mode. They're trying to go for it right now.
I
Aaron
still
Rodgers,
think
of
the
course, is going to
best,
go for it.
still
So
think the best situation is he goes to Miami. I still love that
yeah,
like
no,
so
Miami's
much.
like wide open.
If
Like, dude,
Miami,
Devin Achane actually like
if he
I
signs with
I
Miami,
I'm so interested to see the first time he gets hit by a middle linebacker. I cannot wait. I just want to
if
see
he
how his body reacts.
if Dalvin
He's small.
signs with Miami though, like immediately for me, I already have them winning the division as like an underdog upset. Like that's kind of like the Jaguars coming up behind like last year. I think that they immediately jump. I think they jump up, or the Jets jump up and they jump up, and the Bills jump down too.
Yeah, no,
I
I
mean,
actually think Dalvin Cook's going to be a pretty meaningful signing. I would say like Brees off the ACL. I guess it would help the Dolphins more than the Jets.
it'd
Still
also
would
be
help the
better
Jets out a
for
ton though.
it'd be better for Dalvin because you get more PT, but I don't know if he wants more PT right now. I
Yeah,
think
I
he
mean, to
might
be
just want to
honest, he
chill.
might be like, "Yo, I only want like first and third down. Like second down, take me off." Like,
No, seriously, seriously. But what Mike McDaniel could do with Dalvin Cook is foul. It's disgusting. Oh my god.
yeah, I mean, he just gets another playmaker. So, uh, yeah, Miami, terrifying. I wouldn't like to see that. We're playing Miami week 1 at SoFi, but yeah.
Uh, okay. To wrap up the episode, I just have two lists here, real quick. Surprising keeps and cuts for our Super Bowl matchup from this previous season. Chiefs and the Eagles. This won't take very long. They're not very long lists, but we can talk about them a bit if you would like. All right, I will start with the Chiefs. Chiefs surprising keeps and cuts. Keep Deneric Price, or is it Deneric Prince? I think it's Prince. Keep Deneric Prince, Richie James, Blake Bell, Shane Buechele, Justin Ross, and cut Clyde Edwards-Helaire, LaMichael Pirine, Jody Fortson, and Lucas Nyong. So that's the Chiefs.
So yeah, real quick, I just want to start off with the Belldozer, Oklahoma legend. Famously went from quarterback to tight end. I believe in the very last NCAA 14, the initial rosters, the Belldozer was the starting quarterback for Oklahoma that year. Could be wrong though. But yeah, Blake Bell, special place in my heart forever. The Belldozer,
former Viking too, by the way.
Oh,
Was there for the Minneapolis
Julian,
Miracle, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Belldozer will always have a really, really special place in my heart. And Shane Buechele,
is it Buechele?
That's
Shane,
a guy.
okay.
Well, I'm not even positive I pronounced that right. I know who that is though. Went from Texas to SMU, and when he was at SMU, like SMU was like pretty good that COVID year. And I remember my friends at SMU talking up Shane Buechele. Once again, don't know if that's how you pronounce it.
Let me just in case, let me just Shane Buechele. All right, there we go. Now we're good.
Yeah, but yeah, he I've been hearing about him for a while. Yeah, he's what Mahomes' fourth string.
He's the third string right now, but in general,
and for most teams with a stud,
I'm thinking that they're probably going to be a lot of teams this year that hold on to 3 quarterbacks. And that's because they have the new rule where you can have one dressed and it doesn't count against your active roster for the game. So
really?
It's a new rule because of what happened to the 49ers in the championship game.
So wait. So it doesn't count towards the 53-man roster?
Whatever. I don't remember how many are active your game day roster, but you can have the extra quarterback dress
in case of emergency.
In case of an emergency. And obviously, like they're quarterbacks that you can call people up for the practice squad. Like you have those extra calls for the game that you can have come up for the.
But we're talking like game day injuries.
Yeah, so that's probably for the most part what will come up is that these last quarterbacks go on the practice squad, then they get called up to dress for the game, and they get sent back down. But obviously, I think you can only do that a select amount of times in the NFL as well. So before you have to sign them,
not sure. No confirmation on that end for me.
But
yeah.
All right, Eagles. Keep Kenneth Gainwell, Boston Scott, Tanner McKee, Josh Jobe, and Patrick Johnson, and cut Kevon Wallace, Greg Ward, and Ian Book.
Yeah, so Greg Ward, I believe Greg Ward was at Houston. Is that correct?
Possibly he was a quarterback. Remember that.
I think Greg Ward was the Houston quarterback under Tom Herman right when he left Ohio State. I'm pretty sure I have that correct. I mean, it's actually amazing that Greg Ward's actually was still in the league this long, being a converted quarterback. I'm actually extremely impressed. Shout out.
I mean,
that's our man of the day.
Also, fan favorite on the Eagles too.
Yeah. Now, holy shit, I literally just forgot immediately. We'll say the other names right around Greg Ward. There was one other name that really tickled my feather.
Josh Jobe, Tanner McKee. The keeps
Boston Scott.
Keeps for Boston Scott. They're keeping four running backs. They're keeping 4 running backs.
Yeah, no, yeah. Oh, the Eagles, yeah, they are. Holy shit, they'll all drop like flies after 3 carries. Yeah, they need 4. Holy shit, the injuries on the Eagles running back. I mean, Miles Sanders last year, that might have been the first time like an Eagles running back was healthy. Like, I'm not even sure if he was healthy the whole year.
He was not.
But in years, that like sustained like Shady. It's been a while since Shady was there. So like, from that perspective, like Rashad Penny, I know he will not play in week 6. I am ready to put my media credentials on the line. Rashad Penny will not play week 6. He will be hurt. And let's hope that game's against the Giants, because Boston Scott will just casually score a touchdown. That's the team, right? What's the team that Boston Scott, is it the Giants? He always scores against?
Giants every year.
Yeah. So it's Boston Scott every year, no matter what.
And fantasy waiver wire pickup. Boston Scott.
Straight up though, because I actually think God damn it, what's his name? Sirianni, like,
loves some.
I think
Boston
he's aware.
Scott.
Well, I think he's also just really aware of Boston Scott scoring against the Giants. Like, I think he's just very aware of it, and he will feed him on the goal. Like,
he's just like, all right, it's like, your time.
Sanders out, Scott
get in. Got to get your touchdown for the day.
Yeah, so like, I literally think Sirianni's like kind of a homie and like knows that. So you
fun fact, by the way,
Kenneth Gainwell also too. I like him a lot, but
fun fact, by the way, because we're talking about Chiefs and the Eagles. Fun fact with Boston Scott was he just matchup versus the Giants is disgusting. Every single game last year, Patrick Mahomes had a target reception. Had Noah Gray, who's the secondary tight end for the Chiefs. Let's start with that. Mm-hmm. Every single game last year, Patrick Mahomes targeted him at least 3 times, I think, and he had a reception in every game.
Damn.
So
shout out Noah Gray. Dude, that's our second winner of the week with Greg Ward. So yeah, shout out Noah.
Well, Greg Ward's getting cut, is on the bubble to get cut. That's
why we really need to shout him out. That's why he needs it even more.
Yeah. That's also something I need to clarify is all these lists, these are players, it's the bubble. They are possibilities to get cut. I'm not saying literally cut them. I'm not saying they should be cut. I'm just saying out of everybody on the team that could be surprising, could be a surprising cut. These are the players most likely to be cut out of that.
Yeah. And also like for the, at least right now, or like the rosters they're listing, it's not like they're repping 80-man rosters and you got to make 30 cuts right now, like.
Also though, like with the offseason wish list, like when I'm doing those, like that is like intentional, like cut this guy, add this guy,
yeah, that's
sign
personal.
this guy.
That one's
that is
personal.
We're
coming straight for your feelings on that one.
Yeah.
Panthers fans. Anyway, go
on. Surprising keeps and cut Panthers edition out now on TikTok. Just saying. Just dropped. But no, this is like after all of my research, and this is what it seems like. These players most likely will stay on the team as a surprise, or these people who you thought wouldn't get cut actually might get cut. But with that, thank you guys so much for listening, watching. Rate us 5 stars. You can find us on TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, and on Instagram at Waterboy Pod. Well, X at Waterboy Pod.
Good catch.
Did that last episode too.
It'll take a while to adjust.
Completely. I'm gonna keep calling it Twitter. That fucks up my flow, man. I can't.
Okay. Instead of tweets, what are we calling them? X's?
X's. AI. You know what the videos are called?
They're called
follow
X
me-
vids.
You can follow me and Grant at Everett and at Waterboy Grant
you dirty dog.
on X/Twitter. And we'll see you guys all in the next episode. Thank you guys so much. Waterboy's out.